Hello everyone, this is Oskar Lagerosen, the founder of The Total Living. Now I would like to read out loud the 8th blog post in the One Glance article series covering how you use your calendar. So let's dive right into it. Because after successfully setting up your calendar, just like you did in the previous video or episode, you're now ready to incorporate your calendar every day. By relying on the calendar, you do not need to think about what and when to do the next thing. You also do not need to think about if what you're doing right now is the best thing. You can be in the now, in the present, doing what you do at its best. The calendar is your voluntary schedule that you can change whenever you need to, a servant rather than the boss. Using the calendar in itself is very simple because it has to. The less friction it is, the more you're going to use it and enjoy it. And I'm going to present some guidelines for optimal usage. Because we have, on the one hand, we have obligatory events. On the other, we have optional events. The obligatory events are meetings, calls, appointments, and activities and events. And these actually are the reason for calendar to exist in the first place, because the calendar was originally designed to handle these. And then one other obligatory event is also work sessions. You're going to specify the time and the task or tasks that you're going to do that time. During that time, you do not do anything else but remain focused on that task. If there are many small tasks, you can group them together in one session. And you can also schedule your breaks as well, or have a heuristic to do X minutes of break after Y minutes of work. And I'm going to cover more on that on the next video episode. And then you also would check and input the email and social media check-ins and cleanups. And this is quite counterintuitive, but it's quite important because it is so easy to spend many hours in your email inbox or just scrolling, doom scrolling. By specifying the times you're allowed to do it and how long, you're being conscious of your activity. You will know how much you need/want to be there and can adjust accordingly. And you can do these activities as many times as you want, as long as it's on the calendar that you're in full agreement with it. What you also should schedule is workout sessions, because unless you have a really solid routine that you would never miss, even if you sleepwalked, I recommend that you put your assigned workout times there too, especially if you are new to working out regularly, because it helps tremendously to have them decided in advance. And then you should also input other activities for yourself, which can be everything from household to reading, etc. But we also have two kinds of events that are more optional, such as meals, what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, how you're going to eat, where you're going to eat, etc. And also bedtime, when you want to go to bed. Because although I recommend you to include those, you do not need to do them if you feel it's too much. It's more important than the obligatory ones are there in the beginning. What's also important is to embrace the spaces between the events, because these are your small moments of vacation, a time to relax and do whatever you feel like, free from the burdens of the day. Do not fill this time with email and scrolling unless you want to and thus input another event. By using small moments of rest, you can quickly recuperate your energy and mood and also come up with new insights. You should ideally include space or time between the events if you can. So how do you input events on your calendar? Because it's quite easy after all. You press and hold an empty area and then an event shows up. And while you're holding that event, you can drag it to the correct time. Then a dialog box shows up in which you name the event, adjust the time if necessary, add more information if necessary, and confirm. And the beauty with online meetings is that they generate their events automatically. You can also input repeated events by checking a repeat box and specifying how often it will appear. You can repeat it on a regular or custom basis. For instance, I have a repeated entry every morning for writing these blog articles and recording these videos and podcast episodes. So that helps a lot to have it scheduled in advance. You can also schedule events in advance as well. And inputting events to your computer is similar, in which you press and hold the mouse key on an empty area. And if you would like to do it on a physical calendar or notebooks, you draw a rectangle with the name of the event in it. And once a day, either first time in the morning or last thing of the previous workday/evening, you check the activities that you would like to do today and input them accordingly. By assigning your work to specific times, you will get more than twice as much done every single day. But then the question is, how often should you check and adjust? Because you have now successfully implemented the trusted calendar widget on your home screen following the previous video and episode. And if you're not watching, if you haven't watched it or listened to it, I highly recommend you do it. Because now you will check your calendar every time you use your phone, which is the goal. Therefore, the required number to check it daily, roughly over 10 to 20 times, will automatically be there without you even thinking about it. But whenever there are any changes to your plan, you should adjust it the next time you have a chance to do it. When one activity ends and before the next time begins, it's ideal to checking it a bit more. Changing a plan is very easy. If you want to delete the event, you visit it and press the delete button. If you want to move the event, you press and drag it. If you want to change the duration of the event in the built-in iPhone app, you press and hold the events until 2 circles show up. And in the article, there is a picture in which you can see both the 2 circles. Then you drag each circle either up or down. On the Google Calendar app, adjusting the duration requires manually adjusting the start and end times, which is why I prefer the built-in calendar on iPhone. The Outlook app does not allow for dragging the events at all, which is a significant downside. And also on the computer is also easy because there are circles as well, which you can drag up or down. And on physical papers, you have 2 options. You either use an eraser and then draw the new plan, or you can write a new one directly beside the previous plan. I strongly recommend the second option, and I link a video in the article which gives you more info about how to do that. So in conclusion, with simple input and adjustments on your calendar right in front of you all the time, you can fully direct your energy to what matters. You have your own personal assistant that keeps track of what you will do, leaving you with optimal headspace to do what you do best and make it more outstanding. What the calendar allows you to do is go from a reactive mindset to a proactive mindset. What you react to controls you. Therefore, by using the calendar, you can remain in control regardless of what happens because you do not react, you decide to act. And this is also one reason to schedule the times for checking email and social media, because you want to become its master, not its slave. You can check them as often as you want, as long as you remain intentional about it and see it in comparison to your other work and life activities. And more posts will be diving deeper to it. In addition, the calendar allows you to separate the times from work and non-work. Otherwise, it's so easy to run your entire day out of a simple to-do list with the frustration of never getting it done. By clarifying when you're working on the task and not working on the task, you can be totally focused when it's time to work and totally relaxed when it's not. Research and the bestseller Peak Performance shows that elite performance results from periods of intense activity and intense rest, whether it's knowledge work, sports, or art. The calendar allows you, therefore, to be an elite performer, all while having less stress, more peace of mind, and more happiness. A true win-win-win deal. Tomorrow's post will elaborate more on a tool that you should use together with the calendar, which is timers. If you like this post and the article series and wish that your friends could live a stress-free and productive life as well, please share it. And also don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and subscribe on Spotify podcast episode. And with that, I want to say thank you for your attention and have a nice day. See you in the next one.